Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, we're using the Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. I am so jazzed about this reading, and I have no idea why. But here we go. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco is the Oracle cards, supportive Oracle cards. I'm like so excited about this. Why am I so excited about this? Okay. This kind of reminds me of Gemini a little bit. Kind of like, an open spot may be exactly what you need to create what you want. Are we there? I don't know. This one card. Well, there's a few. Okay, we're going to put those there. It's face down, so we'll see what that is when it gets where it gets. Starting off, you've got wisdom. Always a good thing. Hunger, and the King of Pentacles is how you're adding in. So Libra seems to be in the know. You guys seem to know things that not everybody else knows. Like, well, I'm Pisces, so mine's more of an intuitive thing. But you guys seem to, you read between the lines and, well, that person's doing that, and that person's doing that, so... Wait a minute. They came together how? Oh, that's right. They know so-and-so. They both know so-and-so. You pay attention to social connections, who's saying what, how people say things, and you know where to look to find your answers. It seems more when you find your answers, you know exactly where to look, and you have it it's kind of like you can't really argue it. You know where it is. You're like, this is how that happened. This went through here, and that puzzle fits there. And this is where this came in, so that's why that's happening that way. You also seem to be the one who can go, all of this seems to be moving forward in a certain direction, so it's very likely it's going to end up over here. Other people may not see it, but you're kind of like, well, these people know that person. You know the ins and outs. I feel like it's complicated. It's starting to make my mind swim, because I think you know things, you figure it out. You figure it out, it's going on. You see the pieces and where they're going. Wisdom. Whew, there's a lot with that wisdom card with y'all. The hunger with the King of Pentacles is kind of like you see where things are going, and because not everybody else is seeing where it's going, this is the opportunity, kind of all this comes together, it goes there, it's going to go there on its own, and you're kind of I don't think that's where that should be, though. I think it should be back there, so I can take this moment, kind of move things around, and if I can move this just right, I can naturally get that energy just kind of heading over this other way, and maybe I can get some other people to help me move it over this other way. So it's kind of the hunger is kind of this is going, I see where it's going on its own, but I don't think that's where this should be. Hunger is saying I need to move it somewhere else. And the king, is that the King of Pentacles? It's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, the Knight. I like the Knight better, because I feel like you don't have to do this on your own. If it was the King, I was going to be ooh, do you have to do this all by yourself? No, you have to get some other people to help you in on this situation, help you get into this situation a little better. But Pentacles also talks about it's going to take a while. It's not going to just be a couple here, there, move, strategic chess moves. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be all right, we got to start moving this over that way, got to see how that plays out. Then we got to move this here if that works out the way I want it to. Then I have to watch and see where that plays out. Based on how that plays out, I'm going to have to make some other decisions. It feels like with the hunger, especially coming in with that Knight of Pentacles, I have to keep an eye on it. I have to keep watching it. I have to keep very diligent on it. How is it actually working? This is all face down. There's two spots that are face down, and all this is face down, which is not bad. Boundaries, masculine, and the Nine of Cups. So, boundaries is great for you. Oh, wow, this is perfect for you. It's not just boundaries, there's limits. Because I feel like you look at it yeah, there's always rules. I don't think you have a problem. No, this is totally to your benefit. It's realizing who's following these rules. In what way do they actually follow the rules? It's kind of when people are driving, some people are well, you can go this far over the speed limit, or you can get away with this here, or get away with that there. You see how people are using the rules. Oh, they think they can do this here, so I know that's what they're going to do. I can plan for that. They always do that. you know how you see their personal boundaries. Their personal boundaries, it's not like this is how you do it and that you're not allowed to cross that line. That's not what you're looking at. You're like, this is the line that's not supposed to be crossed, but I know I have some people here and I know how they dance on that line a little bit, and they go over it just a little bit, they come back, they go over this a little bit, and they come back. But the thing is, this works for you. You're like, I can use that. I see it, I can use that. Boundaries are very much to your benefit here. You seem like, especially with that Nine of Cups, you're like, yes, all right, based on what I'm seeing and how these people treat the rules. Rules are what they are, but it's how people treat these rules. You're like, oh yeah, this is perfect because I know what they will and what they won't do. This is helping you make decisions moving forward. See, the first thing is, like, I feel like you're seeing people with the rules they want to keep, or how they want to treat the rules, and you're working with them. It's kind of like, okay, they like to dance on that line, they like to go over it here and there, just a little bit. If I give them that energy and I'm like, hey, I'll look out for you, because you're like, that rule, I don't really believe in that rule anyway, they're just going over it a little bit, I'll protect them with that, and I'll show them that I am. So I'll win a little favor with them. Like, they'll look at me a little bit more positively, and at the same time, maybe I can just keep my ear to the ground a little bit better with them, just so I can understand where they are. Just keep some more intel about what they're doing. By protecting them, I also find out what they're doing and more connected with what they're currently involved with. Sovereignty is telling me, like, they feel protected. You seem to be giving them this feeling of protection. This is like, they're warning about this right off the bat. There's also resistance. This is somebody, like, be aware of it. It seems like you might be, but might not at the same time. You're like, you kind of see it, you kind of don't. The resistance is kind of like, this person that likes to dance on the rules, dance on that line, and kind of go across and come back every now and then. They like their anonymity, too. So I feel like they're a person of a lot of secrets. So if they think you're coming close to some secrets that they're hiding, that may not even have anything to do with what you're handling, like, they may have secrets that they think you're going to figure out that really have nothing to do with what you're interested in, right? But if they're getting paranoid about it, like, oh, you're going to find out, that neighbor's going to find out things I don't want them to find out about, they might start, like, playing little games with you and messing with you a little bit, trying to confuse you about what they're really doing. Where is that going with the resistance here? This is the other section that's face down, and we have, well, let's see. These are not good nor bad. The Six of Cups, Judgment, and the Magician. You're going to figure out some of their history. It's like you went right to their underwear drawer and didn't realize it. It's like you're helping them move, and they didn't clean out the dresser. It's just everything's still in it, and you're moving it, and the drawer opens, and you're like, oh, that's the underwear drawer. Ooh, there's some things in there. Like, ooh. You're like, oh, there's a secret or two right there. Like, oh, yeah. And you're like, this has nothing really to do with me or what we're doing right now, but that's some information you now have. The Six of Cups is like, I do feel like you find something that they don't want people knowing. What do you have with it? You have the Judgment and you have the Magician. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? The cards on your side are the Two of Wands, which is a choice, and the Will. I think you just want to, like, move, unless you have to admit you saw something or know something. I think you want to just keep this to yourself. Don't move on this. I'm getting the Two of Wands is like you have to go forward one way or the other. You can either tell this person or kind of mess with them, like, oh, that underwear drawer opened up there. I saw some things there, buddy. Like, oh ho, I know what you're into, apparently. You could mess with them a little bit. Because I feel like sometimes Libra will do that a little bit, just kind of like a bonding thing, like, oh, so you're into that. Hey, that's your business, that's fine. Like, sometimes, but usually Libra's very careful about it. If you feel you can bring that forward in a positive kind of like, you don't have to hide that, I'm okay with that. You do what you got to do. Like, I wouldn't feel bad about it. You should be who you got to be. Libra will bring it forward if they think it's going to strengthen a connection in a positive way. I know that. But in this situation, I feel like you just kind of want to like, okay, I saw that. Let me just shut that drawer, and you're going to remember it. It's just how it is. It's like it's one of those things where yeah, I saw that. It's going to be one of those things. I feel like the Two of Wands is saying you have a choice: either act on it or don't. I'm getting don't. Don't even bring it forward. Just keep it to yourself. Just that's what I'm getting with that. It's the Two of Wands, so I keep questioning it, but they're like, it's up to you. But you notice when you see the Will card, she has something over her mouth. She is shut in her face. She is keeping it to herself. I'm telling you, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I would just keep it to yourself. Because it seems to be creating an air of mystery where they seem to think you figured something out, but they don't know what it is. And they seem to want to keep you in their good graces. Or vice versa. Because when the mystery is there, I just feel like they're more conducive, more cooperative. If the mystery is not there, it might create some tension for some reason, which is interesting. Because it's kind of like you know something that they don't want people to know, and it makes them uncomfortable. But if they're not sure if you know or not, it seems like they just play nice just in case you do, but they don't know if you do. But they play nice anyway, just in case. I feel like that's what we're going to get with this. Because we got pleasure with acceptance. And I feel like this is much easier, goes a lot better if there's mystery. I really think the mystery works to your advantage. Like, it's nothing you need to know anyway. I just feel like they're much more cooperative if it's a mystery. I'm really getting that. Now, the last section here, that's a really pretty card. I think this is a really pretty card. It's the Eight of Swords. Very interesting that I'm thinking it's pretty, because it's usually talking about a trap or feeling like you're stuck in something and you don't know how to get out of it, yet you do have the ability to get out of it. Dealing with this person might prove difficult over time. And you may feel like you're stuck with them for some reason. Self-reflection is like, I feel like you need to really evaluate this person, because it's something about this person, and to you it seems like they're an asset, and it's not that they're not, but this might be one of those you want to kind of let go on their own. You might want to distance yourself from this, and I feel like when we're saying this, I don't think this is a natural, I don't think you naturally would do that, just kind of set them loose, because I think it's more like, by setting them loose, the way you're doing that is you're distancing yourself from them. You're not talking to them as much. You're kind of staying away from their information. You're staying away from their life. For now, for this part of the situation, they do have a benefit, but over time, I'm getting you might want to distance yourself from this and just kind of let this one go on its own. Because I'm getting like, over time, they do seem to be more stressful, and they seem to create more anxiety for you for some reason. Even if you're not prone to that, it just seems to come forward later, like, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta deal with that. It just feels like that. There's gonna be a point when I'm seeing blooming where you're gonna have a choice, like the flower blooms. And when I see a flower bloom, like, I'm in the northern hemisphere here up in New York, so like, flowers don't bloom year round here. They bloom, they have their high point, and then the fall comes in afterwards and they die off and they come back another season. I feel like when I'm getting blooming is kind of like, in its moment, when it's good, enjoy it while it's good, but when it starts to die down and wither away, let it. Let it die down and wither away. It doesn't have to be a negative ending, but also, with the flower analogy, it's not a permanent ending. It'll come back later when it's appropriate. Just, like, you don't want to take this flower, dig it up, put it in a pot, and try to force it to bloom through the winter in your own home. Like, you don't want it to constantly bloom. It's like, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. Let it do its natural cycle. Let it die down. Let it go away. Let it go away. Like, you don't have to be right on it all the time. Then when it starts returning, you'll come back and you'll use it again as you need to, or attend to it again as you need to. I feel like you should let it go, because I'm getting like there's a void in the Eight of Cups. There's going to be a point where you should let this energy just kind of go away for a while, because I don't think it's permanent. Let it go away for a while. And then when the season comes back that's right again and it starts approaching you again, get to know it again. I don't think it'll be bad. It's not like you're going to have a mountain of, information to go through. So I feel like what they're saying with this person, I almost feel like that sock drawer thing, it's almost like helping you identify who it is rather than the information but it's more about who it is. Let them go away when the season passes, and when they return, get to know them again. It's not like it's going to be a mountain of information. I feel like it's not going to be that big of a mystery. But when something seems to like go its natural cycle and just kind of dissipates for a while, let it go. When it comes back, it won't be an issue. Because I feel like you're kind of like looking at this like, yeah, but if I get out of touch with this, there might be a lot of information that I miss, a lot of things that I should know that I don't know. I don't think that's how it's going to play out, though. What I get is like when the season passes, that person's going to go on to other subjects that really don't have anything to do with you. And if you try to keep involved with them, it's just like a lot of work for you that's really not very bountiful, not really helping you. But when things start gravitating around again, you'll get back in with them and it'll work out fine. And then I just feel like they'll be used to your energy. It's a lot more comfortable to let it leave when it wants to leave and return when it wants to return. And that's it. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.